So you want to learn how to Norwegian knit. Well, what it starts with for most people is wanting to learn how to knit Continental because it goes faster, so they say. And when I tried to learn the Continental way, I had not so much an issue with knitting. I had an issue with purling, and so I would be able to knit just fine because, you know, you just pick it and go, right? But then when I would go to do the purling, I would lose my tension somehow, and my stitches would just start to, like, because you're supposed to drag this around here, and it just was not an easy thing for me. So I don't know, even now it feels so weird, like my hand is shaking and everything else. So when I learned the Norwegian way, the reason why it clicked for me is you just basically hold the yarn underneath your fingers. There's nothing to move. There's no back and forth. You just hold everything just like this. And if you look at my hands, all it is the working yarn is coming around the pointer finger, and the rest of it is just resting up here almost against the work, and that's it. Now for thin yarn, like this fingering weight yarn I'm using, I will wrap it around my pinky, or sometimes just whatever, just around some fingers because it's very thin and I don't want it to slide and get away from me. But the motion is just like this. So your working yarn rests across your pointer finger. Your right hand is going to do the moving. Go into the stitch, just grab it and pick it off. And that's knitting. Right? Now this pattern doesn't have any purl stitches, but we're going to put them in anyway. Purling, you leave the yarn where it is, and you just go behind it, go through the stitch purlwise. This is where it starts to look hard, but it's not. All you're going to do is swing your needle around, pick up that yarn again, push it through the loop, and off goes the purl. Do it again. Go behind the yarn on your fingertip, go into the stitch purlwise, swing it around, pick up the yarn off your fingertip, and push it through the hole. Push it through the stitch. Now, that many times when I'm knitting, I notice I do use my finger to kind of control it, my thumb rather, because I don't want it to just slip off, or sometimes, you know, tension varies. So sometimes you use your finger to just kind of secure it, hold it, swing around and get it, push it through the stitch, and then drop it off. I tell you, it was the easiest thing for me to learn.